All right, check out our new sponsor, Greenwood Stocks. They want you to know how to be able to trade stocks and be your own boss and be free to travel the world by making passive income. We all need that passive income from stock market. What are you waiting for? Call or text 281-760-3170. If you didn't catch that, that's on your screen. Or check them out at social media, Greenwood Stocks, and catch them at Gmail, greenwoodstocktrading at Gmail, and the YouTube channel is Greenwood Stocks. Appreciate them for giving me the opportunity. Check them out. We out. All right, man, let's talk about Dennis Schröder and Luka Doncic. Nobody wants to play. Players don't like playing with Luka. Then we talk about our boy Schröder wanting 120 M's in his bank account. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Check out the NBA playlist for more videos. NBA Talk playlist for more videos like this. Keep sharing videos. Like what you're hearing. Like what you're hearing. Subscribe, man, and share the video. But word on the street is people don't like playing with Luka. Okay, him and Porzingis have a riff, but honestly, man, players don't like playing with him. A lot of people like playing with Trae Young, and that's why a lot of basketball people on TV and aficionados are saying Trae Young better than him because his teammates would play for him, and and Luka teammates won't. But it says Matt Rumor, Luka Doncic's problem that could doom Dallas. An NBA insider says the Dallas Mavericks have been huge transition of late and try to surround young star with Luka Doncic enough with the talent and support. Move in the front office have been done, which sets Dallas up for a huge summer in terms of possibly filling up the roster with the right kind of talent to complement the young franchise player. Player of the organization is all in with the 22-year-old phenom, and recent moves have proved that. After the heartbreaking exit in the first round of the 2021 NBA playoffs, franchise moved on from long-time tenured GM Donnie Nelson as well as NBA champion Rick Carlisle. Immense controversy regarding a ton of drama in the backroom involving Harlabis Vloggers, the team's director of quantity of research and development. To try to replace these talented individuals, Mark Cuban-owned franchise went with former point guard Jason Kidd to be the Mavs' new head coach. Also hired former NBA executive Nico Harrison to be the team's new GM. These are good moves, right? But recent reports suggest the Mavs might be tiptoeing around the problem rather than addressing it head on, okay? And unfortunate, man, really unfortunate that it sounds like he the problem. All right, do you sign and trade him to a huge haul? Do you keep him? I mean, Dallas is a booming city. Texas is a booming state. I think now that racism is covering the United States more, it's getting unveiled. I think people starting to see wherever you go, it don't matter. And the South is starting to open back up. Okay, a lot of people starting to migrate down there, even before stuff. These are good. All right, these are good. According to ESPN, Brian Windhorst, indeed, possible that Mavs' biggest problem is actually 22-year-old Wonder Boy. Quote Windhorst. I don't know how many people are going to be excited to play with Luka. I think Luka is maybe a difficult person. Windhorst said on 105.3 The Fan in Dallas and via Sports NAUT.com. Quote, he's a great player, but when you watch the Mavericks play, he's barking at the coach, he's barking at his teammates, he's barking at the officials, he's always barking at something. He can really be an irritable guy. All right. So he went on to say Dallas has been on an incredible upward twin as the Mavericks cornerstone after acquiring in a loaded 2018 draft. The Slovenian has dazzled his way into becoming one of the most promising young stars in the entire league just 3 seasons. From knocking down clutch shots to dishing out fancy passes, Doncic has made Luka Magic a household name in the NBA, one play at a time. And by now, it's pretty apparent Doncic will be the face of the league for the next generation. Thing is, Doncic's flamboyance sometimes also gets worse to him. He's been known to be up in arms when cause doesn't go his way, and the young star has been in one too many dramatic situations involving him and his team. Doncic was reportedly not a fan of Vloggers. He was also lost at the front office. All the drama that surrounded his former GM and head coach, and obviously can't ignore Luka's complicated relationship with teammate Kristaps Porzingis, which have been grabbing headlines nonstop since their disappointing 7-game series against the Clippers. All these for only further point proves the 2-time NBA All-Star has been at the center of all the drama. I'm reading from Clutch Points, by the way. Shout out to Clutch Points. Though we have to keep in mind, the 22-year-old is relatively young. He's been a professional basketball player since he was 16. In terms of NBA, Doncic is just only the beginning of maturity. Doesn't come overnight. The adjustments from being a part of a winning culture in Real Madrid and Spain to rebuilding the Mavs team has been hard as well. Hopefully, Cuban and the rest of his new look front office make the right moves in moving the franchise forward with someone like Luka Doncic in the front court. Issue is here. The biggest issue here is not Donnie Nelson, Mark Cuban, Rick Carlisle. It's not the biggest issue. The biggest issue is the NBA. That's the biggest issue. Now, he come into the league at 19, 20 and run the league and, run his team. But back in the day, you came in from anywhere from 2010 on back. You had to earn your stripes. Even LeBron in Cleveland had to earn his stripes. DeJuan Wagner got an injury, came in. He had to earn his stripes. He had to earn the respect of Carlos Boozer and Darius Miles. Go read what they said about a rookie LeBron. Kobe had to earn his respect. And people forget, Shaquille O'Neal was kind of handed what you call them damn things, expansion team. And he was the leader. Even though they had Scott Scout, he got into it. People don't understand Shaq was the biggest problem with Kobe and Shaq. He was the biggest problem. Maybe one day I'll do the video on that. He was the biggest problem because his immaturity as a big brother and veteran is what happened. Because remember, you look at his track record. He got into a fight with Scott Skiles. He was jealous of the nicest guy you find in the league, other than Grant Hill and a few others. And Penny Hardaway, he got jealous because Penny had a better deal with Nike. Okay, then he was jealous of Kobe and got into a fight with. If you look consistently, Shaq immaturities was the biggest thing. Okay, his immaturities was the biggest thing, but the biggest issue is Luka being turned the franchise over at the age of Shaq and not having the maturity, which nobody really comes into the league with that maturity. You 19, 20 with millions and millions of dollars. But, and also the way he played the game, which he don't really share the ball that much, he ball dominant. Ain't nobody coming over there. You look at the upcoming free agent, DeMar DeRozan ain't going over there. All right, ain't nobody going over there. The issue is he's so ball dominant, okay? At some point, he's going to have to learn to play off the ball. If you look at Chris Paul, I remember nobody liked playing with Chris Paul because he bark. But the silver lining with Chris Paul, was he get a ball up. Chris Paul will let you work out. Chris Paul will facilitate. Chris Paul will play off the ball. Chris Paul let Devin Booker get his shine. Let Harden get his shine. That's the biggest thing. Luka is a ball dominant guy, which you may not get a chance to really do what you need to do with the Rock. And that's two of the reasons. Then also, it's his team and you barking. It's not going to be a partnership like Kawhi and Paul George. Nobody going over there willingly. But the silver lining going to Dallas is two things. Three things. Luka's going to take all the blame because he's the best player. Mark Cuban's a great coach. Great owner. And then the third one is Dallas is a great city. It's a booming city. A lot of people migrating and coming there. There's a lot to do in Dallas and Houston. It's an upcoming state. It might be the hottest state going right now. A lot of people leaving, California going there, Tulsa going there. So it'll be interesting to see. But for Luka, man, it's just at some point he gonna have to mature. And you don't have big brothers in the locker room. You don't have veterans that can say nothing to him. And that's why it was important to bring J.J. Barea on the staff because he had to understand it. But if he came into the league in '95, even with the same talent, he wouldn't be mouthing off like he was because somebody would have punched him dead in his mouth. And I ain't talking about a coach. At one point, the NBA used to be a mature league. Older guys spent 2, 3, 4 years in college, came out mature, husbands came out, learning how to manage money. Now you got guys getting millions and never took a accounting or money management course or class, but let's move on. That's the biggest problem with Luka. But you look on now, and Nico Harrison is a black guy, so shout out to the brother for being a GM. Hopefully he get the job done. But Dennis Schroeder, rumors of Schroeder wants $100 to $120 million in free agency. Now, they can't mess the relationship up with Schroeder because they're going to need him to sign and trade. But it says, if there's one thing Dennis Schroeder has made clear, he's acquired by the Los Angeles Lakers in November, is that he plans to sign a new contract with the Lakers on conditions that the terms are fair. That may seem like giving, but it's apparent over the past few months, Schroeder definition of fair doesn't exactly align with the general public. Said according to me and Andreas, Vice President of German Basketball Federation, DBB. The point guard is expecting to deal with the range between 100 and 120 million. Andreas mentioned that the fact is the reason why Schröder is not representing Germany in the summer as a burden of ensuring his future contract of the value too big of DBB. Okay. Then, quote, Schröder has communicated clearly he wants $120 million, which is probably also gets in some insured, cannot be insured on the normal market at the moment. Andreas said something, okay, can't pronounce that. But Ablugla Basketball Podcast. So, I mean, it is what it is. When you see Buddy Hield, a lot of these younger guys who ain't never made an all-star team getting $100+ million, Jaylen Brown, of course he gonna win $120 million. It's a lot of guys walking around here who are average. Yeah, they getting $120 million. Buddy Hield just signed 4 years, $94 million. Average 23, $24 million a year. Andre Drummond was making a whole bunch of money before he got bought out by Cleveland. You got all these young guys who making a ton of money. And he like, you know what? I'm just as good as them, if not better. Give me my $120 million. Give me my money. What? I lost. So honestly, I think he may get it. I think he might end up in Toronto. Kyle Lowry, get up, get out, and get something. If he go ahead and lead the game, he's probably gonna go to Toronto, maybe sign a trade. But LA not gonna go into the salary cap. Okay, LA not gonna go into the salary cap for him, or no, the luxury tax for him. So if he performed and he would have did his job and they would have lost or advanced. If he did his job, they would have advanced. He would have got his money. He would have got his money, no doubt about it. But his lack of, coming in and saving LeBron butt is why he ain't gonna get his money. And they're gonna shuffle a lot of people around. He's gonna shuffle all these guys around, and ultimately, man, him and Kyle Kuzma are gonna be gone. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Got a Facebook group. All links in the description. Want to make a financial donation? Cash App CJ Good 313. Subscription, PayPal link there as well too. Check out the NBA Talk playlist out. Best way to donate. Thumbs up, share the video, subscribe. Let me know in the comment section. One time for the one time. Good for Sports TV.